In this video, we'll discuss another way to support your key features. In the previous video, we discussed from, to, and by. In this video, we're talking about participle clause. Alright, the question may come here. If I already know how to use from, to, and by, and I can use it everywhere, why should I even try to learn about participle clauses? I already know how to support the key features. Well, to get a high score in Ielts, as I've already mentioned, you need to vary your language and you need to vary your grammar. And you show this variety by supporting your key features in a different way. Well, usually in one writing task, you will have up to 10 key features. And supporting every single key feature with from, to, or by may look a little repetitive. Alright, then we're gonna go ahead then and let's start breaking it down when it comes to participle clauses. Alright, the first question here is, what is a participle clause? Well, it's not really important to know what's that or the translation, it's just a grammatical term. What we need to understand is the function. When do we use participle clauses? So participle clauses are used when, in our case, in writing task 1, adding when adding details to the main action or when adding a detail to the main action. All right, how about the structure here? How is it mainly used? All right, the structure is just verb plus ing and then plus the object. Sometimes just verb plus ing and that's it. All right, to understand this better, we're going to look at two examples. Let's say I have two sentences. I say, my friend returned money he borrowed from me. And I want to add a detail here. He earned my respect. Absolutely no problems with these two sentences. However, in IELTS writing, I may want to vary my sentences. So maybe I want to combine them and use the second sentence, as a detail for this main sentence. And right here, I'm going to use participle clause. Let me just put one more example here and then we'll turn it into participle clause. In the case of writing task 1, let's say the number of people increased. It. Why am I saying it here? Because I'm not talking about people. People is not the subject. The main subject is the number. All right, it grew from 10 to 11 million. All right. Again, additional detail here. Uh, so what can I do here to combine these? Let's start from the first sentence. So participle clause here says verb plus ing plus object. So I have my main sentence here. My friend returned money he borrowed from me. I put comma. Always remember to put comma to show that right now you're going to have additional detail and it's not going to be an adjective or modifier for this. It's going to be an additional part. All right, and I put my verb. What's my verb here? It's earn. Okay, earning my respect. Now, you may simply understand grammar right now, but it will not be really useful if you just learn it by heart and simply understand grammar without understanding the full meaning. However, if you right now put the effort and understand the full meaning, you'll be able to use participle clause in all contexts, not just the one that you learned by heart. All right, what is the translation here, Tagda? Let me start from Uzbek. In Uzbek, this first version translates into "Mani o'rtog'im qaytarib berdi mandan olgan pulni, u mani respektimni zasofiz qildi." I'm using Russian. U mani hurmatimga sazovor bo'ldi. How about this sentence? Nima o'zgardi? What changed here? Mani o'rtog'im mandan olgan pulni qaytarib berdi. hurmatimga sazovor bo'lib degan joyi is participle clause. Alright, let's try in Russian. Мой друг вернул деньги, которые он одалживал. Он заслужил мое уважение. So, what changes here? Мой друг вернул деньги, которые он одалживал, заслуживая мое уважение. So, заслуживая — это participle clause. Now, you see, even in translations, I'm not saying он заслуживая или u sazovor bo'lib demayapman. Сразу pulni qaytarib berdi, sazovor bo'lib. Вернул деньги, заслужив. I'm not mentioning subject again. So I don't say he earning my respect. It just doesn't make sense, even in translation. Alright, why am I saying this? Because it's a really common mistake for candidates to mention the subject again here, like it earning respect or he earning respect, or fully confusing the structure. Another common mistake is that people confuse this verb. This verb here will always belong to your main subject. Who's my main subject? My main subject is my friend. My friend did something. He did the action. Alright, so earning will belong to my friend. Заслуживая, созовор bo'lib, I'm talking about my friend. He did this, not money. Sometimes people write verbs here that kind of belong to like object, which is fully wrong and it never makes sense. Alright, so your verb should always belong to your main subject. Let me just remove this. We're going to look at a little more specific example here in writing task one context. Okay. We have this sentence. The number of people increased. It grew from 10 to 11 million. Alright, right now you can pause the video and try to use participle clause here to combine these two sentences. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and write the correct version here. That would be the number of people increased. Alright, growing from 10 to 11 million. So what is the translation here? Odamlarning soni oshdi, undan 11 ga ko'tarilib. Число людей повысилось, увеличиваясь от 10 до 11, увеличиваясь, right? ING here. That's it. You will see here, this part is never affected by any tenses. You will never change it into future, into past, or present, because it doesn't make sense to do that. Делая что-то, намадура qilib, doesn't depend on time or tense. It is always in the same way. Whereas this part will definitely depend on the timeline. All right, right now we're going to take a look at a task here and quickly have an example. Okay, let's pick a key feature here. Let's talk about this part. Right now you can pause the video and describe this key feature and support it with participle clause. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the sentence here. So this is the total number of visitors. So we say the total number of visitors increased significantly. Significantly. I put comma, growing or rising, absolutely doesn't matter. Just make sure the meaning makes sense. Growing from 1 million, 1 to, that looks like 2.7. Okay, 2.7 to around 2.7 million between, let's say in the first, how many years? In the first, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the first 5 years. In the first 5 years. All right, done. I could have also written it in a shorter format here. I could have said the total number of visitors increased significantly from 1 to around 2.7 million in the first 5 years. This version is totally fine as well. Just know the limit here and feel when you've used this too much and it's time to use this, or when you use this too much and it's time to use this, or use not only from to, but by maybe. All right, for sure. There are other variations here, a little more complex than that. You could have written something like the number of people increased from 1 to 5 million. This is not from the graph, I'm just giving an example. Becoming the largest group in the graph. Yes, you can use participle clause to compare as well, like this. But be really careful. Again, this is where a lot of people make mistake. Becoming, so we're talking about the number of people. The number of people is my main subject. Uh, what can people become? They can become a group. Some people write becoming the largest number, becoming the largest figure, or category. People cannot become a number, category. So always make sure that apart from grammar, your sentence also sounds natural and it just makes sense. You can have another variation here. You could have written something like the number of people increased from 1 to 5 million, outnumbering the number of people, let's say in Tashkent, outnumbering uh, the figure, all right, the number of people, let's make it simple, in, I don't know, Termits, there, I don't know how to write Termits, so I'm gonna go Samarkand, Samarkand, all right. You can use it to show the interaction and compare as well. This video was only about supporting it with data and the numbers. And about comparing here, we're going to see in other videos as well. In the same topic here, you will find quiz questions where you can practice supporting the key features using participle clause.